Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my winter faves and fails, and unfortunately there's only 2 items this time. That was all I managed to fit in. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the foundation. So this was the designer brand's Firming Age Revive Foundation. This one here. So as you can see, I've used this quite a lot. The biggest thing about this is the coverage. Okay, it's described as a medium coverage foundation. To me, this is more like a light coverage foundation. Yes, you can build it up to medium, but it takes a bit of work. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I probably wasn't a fan of. It felt like it was taking me twice as long to get ready because I was technically putting my foundation on twice to get the coverage I wanted. So that was kind of the biggest thing. The other thing was the oxidization. There's a flash big word for you. I'll show you. It just oxidizes so quickly. I'll put some on my hand and I'll let it sit here for a wee bit, and I'll tell you some more things about it and we'll check back in a minute. Now, I used this foundation with a sponge, and when I was doing my research for this, a lot of people said that they prefer it with a foundation brush. They said it seems to work better. I don't use a foundation brush. I've got into the habit of using a sponge, or beauty blender, so I've not really bothered getting a new foundation brush for that reason. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The shade range says they have 20 shades. Now when I got this from, I think I got it from a pharmacy, Life Pharmacy, there was like 5. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'll search it up online, see what other companies are stocking it, and most of the time it was either 4 or 5 shades. So the whole 20 range is only kind of available on their actual website. Which I didn't end up having much of a look at. I kind of glanced through it. Yeah, so I do like the foundation. I wouldn't say it has the skin, what does it say? Help banish the appearance of lines, imperfections and discoloration. Hyaluronic acid to help hydrate and restore elasticity, builds to your desired level of coverage. Yeah, but see on their website it says medium coverage. I guess medium buildable coverage, but I wouldn't call it medium off the bat, definitely call it light. So I didn't see any benefits from this stuff it's meant to do. I mean, I've used it for 3 months now, and I don't see any difference. The most comments that I kept seeing coming up repeatedly when I was reading reviews and things was the oxidization. I didn't really notice it on my face, like going from my hand to my face. But then when sort of finished my foundation, I'm go back to my hand, I'm like, wow, that's looking really orangey. Doesn't look the same shade. It's starting to, I don't know if it'll show up on camera just yet, but around the edges, like the very edge here, it's starting to change colour. It's not showing up the best yet. We shall wait. But yeah, that was the biggest complaint, the oxidization, and that the lighter shades were almost too light. It felt like there was no in between for the fair and light skinned people. I will keep an eye on this throughout the next thing I'm going to talk about. And but I am actually calling this a fave. Now the reason being, it is actually really a nice foundation. Yes, it takes me a bit longer. It still looks nice. I have it on today. There's no cakiness when you build it up. It does look really nice, and yes, I would buy it again if I had happened to be in store and there was nothing else I wanted. I would definitely buy it again. So that is the designer brand's Firming Age Revive foundation, and it is a fave. The last thing, of course, is the Huda Beauty, what do they call this, Nude Obsessions eyeshadow palette. This one here. So again, I have this on my face again today. Here it is. I used it for the 3 months. I don't think I ever used the middle shade, the lighter. I thought maybe I used it once. Yeah, this, it was pretty much a carbon copy of the medium one. I had issues with colours. The biggest thing was no transition shade. That's a pet peeve of mine, you could say. It's like the transition shades that they obviously have in here, I think would be more suited to fair skin. Okay, I'm light skinned, so it doesn't really, like this colour here, gosh, they don't have shade names, but yeah, this one here is quite light on me. That so light, I have it as my transition shade today. You can barely see it. Whereas on a fair-skinned person, it would show more. So I feel like the range doesn't have that in-between kind of level where I would be. So they have something suitable for the fair-skinned, and they have something for the medium, but they don't have that in between where I sit, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I used this as much as I could. I did lots of different looks with this. I did love, this colour up, this rosy brown. That was really, really a nice colour. I lined with it a wee bit. The deeper shimmer shades, unfortunately, I didn't end up using a lot of because, as I said in my first impressions video, it, for us more mature ladies, it just emphasised lines on my lids and they just look terrible. The lighter shades I could get away with. I have the bright purple on today. I was like, I'm gonna go do something different. So I put that on today. But again, up close, it looks really nice, but from a distance you can still see a bit of texture, not as much as the darker shades. So the mattes are really nice. I mean, they were in the other palette as well. They're very blendable, quick to use. There was very little fallout, so that wasn't a really complaint. So it has its pros and cons. For me, like I say, I wish there was like an in-between shade. I just feel this would suit somebody with very, the fair skin tone. Yeah, and younger. I think someone younger would benefit more than us mature ladies because silicone based for us unfortunately just shows everything. So yeah, so I did use it. I forced myself. It did kind of sit there for a few weeks in the middle there because I was just getting annoyed. I was just like, you know what, I'm wearing this but I'm not liking it. So I just forced myself to experiment. That's how we learn these things. So yeah, so although the shade range is okay, yeah, I'm still calling it a fail for me. I just feel like, yeah, I need a shade in between. And yeah, but even if I did get that in between shade, I don't think the shimmers would be the letdown for me too, because they're silicone based. So even if there was an in between shade, I still don't think I would be happy. Don't I sound fussy? I'm getting old. So yeah, unfortunately the Huda Beauty Nude Obsessions Light Eyeshadow Palette is a fail. Okay, getting back to this foundation, let's see. Okay, let's put a fresh strip next to it. Like I said, I still don't notice any difference though, like when I'm putting it on my hand to my face, but it's just noticed that when it sits, now you can, it's not showing up the best, but this is quite orangey. Yeah, no, it's not really. I've probably made the line a bit too thin, or blended it out a bit too thin. but it's got this peachy pinky kind of a look as compared to the when you first put it on, which is the oxidization. Yeah, and it gets worse than that. Like, I can leave it on my hand, you know, while I do all of my makeup, and by the end of it, it's quite that peachy kind of a look. So I can understand the complaints about the shade range, because I can imagine if it's, you know, most of the lighter colours would end up peachy, and yeah, but then that's only on your hand. For some reason, when you put it on your face, the same thing doesn't happen. Not that I've noticed. If there is a difference, it's very slight, but yeah. So that would be something to keep in mind. That is it, unfortunately, for the winter faves and fails, just the two things. Coming up to spring, I'm not sure how, yeah, my job has just got a lot busier. So I love doing this though, so I do try and prioritize, you know, making sure I fit it in somewhere. Sometimes it gets a little hard, but like I say, all my videos are filmed in advance, except for the faves and fails, of course. So I always allow myself plenty of time to get the full season or most of the season out of the products I'm trying. So yeah, let me know if there's anything you'd like me to try, if you've used any of this that I was talking about, how you went. Feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye!